TMI, every opinion counts.
All right, thank you for staying with us on your ultimate news and current affairs program on television, TMI. We are privileged to be joined by Reverend Dr. Sharif Azeke. He's a security expert, a clergy, an author, and the CEO of Sapphire Shield Security and Safety Awareness Initiative. He's our special guest this morning. Welcome on board, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
All right, and of course, I also have my dear colleague Favor Osaro, and together we'll be talking with Reverend Dr. Sher. Now, the elections is just a few days away, and each time we wake up, on the headlines we hear issues of security, killings, and kidnapping still going on. What does it mean for Nigeria as we approach the elections next year?
Thank you. This election year really, and the campaign will soon commence. And the situation of Nigeria presently in the area of security is not encouraging, because if that aspect is not taken care of, there will be a lot of issues when it comes to election and campaign. And the government is the sole responsibility of the government to make sure that in the area of security, everything is in order, because nothing thrives in the absence of security. As long as security is concerned, Nigeria has a very big problem presently, because from the east to the north, from the west to the south, everywhere is bombarded with insecurity. And there is a looming danger if care is not taken. If the government is not proactive in handling this security menace on time, it will be very difficult for Nigeria to have a peaceful and credible election.
Now, in spite of the effort the government is putting funds, manpower and all that, and the effort of the security organizations too, security forces, they are doing their best. But despite this effort, it seems we are still heading nowhere. Do you think the government is missing it somewhere?
I think security is not about the gun, it's not about the uniform. It doesn't stop with the security agencies. Security is a holistic approach. If it's not addressed holistically, we'll be missing a lot, because the average Nigerian, even the government, they think when it comes to security, it's all about the police and the military. No, it's beyond. Everybody's a stakeholder when it comes to security. They should carry everybody along. They should not leave security in the hand of military and the police or security agencies. Everybody's involved, because anything that happens, one for all for one. Wow. So everybody should be carried along. Everybody, as I said, everybody's a stakeholder, and there should be good orientation when it comes to security. There should be awareness when it comes to security. There should be education when it comes to security. The people, there should be sensitization. The people should be well sensitized in the area of security. When the government involved in this aspect, I believe, to an extent, we'll have a good time.
Now, INEC as the election umpire, don't you think the recent happenings around the country should actually send a signal to them as to preparing more for the election?
Yes, what is happening right now, if anybody tells you that Nigeria is peaceful, that person is not truthful. Presently, we are not, things are not going well in the area of security. And INEC, with the umpire, when it comes to election, they should do much about sensitization in the area of not about voting alone, about security. Security is the oxygen of this country, and there is shortage of oxygen. And when there's shortage of oxygen, there will be suffocation. The people are suffocating because there is shortage of oxygen when it comes to the issue of security. So the INEC body, they should do more about securing the people, because when there is no security, there is nothing we can say about in the area of credible and peaceful election.
So as a security expert, how do you think this insecurity and the worsening state can affect us come 2023?
Yes, Nigeria per se, where we are now is, we don't need a leader, we need a messiah to redeem this country from this shambles. And Nigerians are already tired of what is going on. So there's this great agitation for new breed of leadership. We need a messiah, really. And for we to get to this point, the government has much to do in the area of, I say it again, sensitizing the people, putting systems and structures in order. And the government ought to be sincere in the manner in which they handle security matters. Sincerity is very, very important.
Now, recently, the Minister of Information, Hajilan Mohammed, mentioned something about fake news as one of the issues aggravating insecurity in the country. Now, do you also think along that line, that fake news in particular, probably there is a feeling that most of the things happening around are probably over, emphasized on. So probably fake news in one way or the other could have actually work towards insecurity, against insecurity?
Yes, we cannot negate the fact that fake news can also cause insecurity. But that is where the government also comes in the area of sensitization.
But does that actually mean that the things we hear around are not really true?
A lot of things, we're in the internet world. You can go to the YouTube and watch certain things live. Not somebody coming to tell you that the house is burning somewhere, you get there, there's no fire. You can go to the YouTube, go to the internet and see what's happening. But we will not, I said, we will not negate the fact that fake news also can cause insecurity. And when the government comes to tell us that most of the news we hear today, they are fake news, I think I would not agree to that.
Okay, now the elections is just few days away. The campaign will kick off officially on the 28th of this month. Do you think this present government have what it takes to tackle insecurity before the elections?
If you want me to say my mind,
yes, your
I don't think so. I don't think so, because the way things are going, things are deteriorating every day, especially starting from the federal government. Like the state governments, they are trying in their own bid to make sure their states are in order. Like Edo State, the governor in Edo State here is doing everything to make sure that Edo State is safe. But we are talking about security nationwide, because election is not just from in one state. So the government should do much to make sure that there is peace and tranquility in the land, because the value for life in Nigeria is drastically reducing. Nigerians is like, we no longer value life, because when the value for life reduces, there will be much insecurity.
Talking about value for life, recently there was a serious attack on the person of Senator Ifeanyi, and lives were actually lost. Now, with the increase and worsening state in the southeastern region, do you think it will affect them, affect their votes, affect the elections in that part?
Well, it's quite unfortunate, but it's a signal for the future. For the senator to be attacked in that manner, it's just God that saved him. A lot of certain persons also died. It's just a signal of what is going to happen in the future. That if things are not well taken care of, we'll begin to see all these things repeated in the future, where politicians are being attacked, and if care is not taken, what we'll begin to hear will not be pleasant to our sights. And I will encourage the government to do more in the area of security. I'm still talking about sensitization, orientation, education, and putting the country in order, improving the economy, because when the economy is okay and things are getting better, people will not want to go into criminal activities, because there are factors that make insecurity to thrive. When these factors are not taken care of, we will just be beating around the bush.
So can we quickly just have some of those factors?
Yes, unemployment is a factor, because when you look at the unemployment ratio in Nigeria, it's very, very low. We have a lot of unemployed people everywhere, even young people. Then education is also a factor. Right now, ASU has been on strike for more than six months. So what do you expect these students to be doing at this particular time? They'll just be sitting at home waiting for one day government will now agree with ASU to open school. You've already removed them from their own environment. Now they're at home, and it is said that the idle mind is the devil's workshop. And these guys are just breathing one or two things. We are praying that it will not metamorphose into what is coming ahead, because this is another area of insecurity. Because when the government is insensitive in the area of education, it can breed insecurity.
So now, some of these consequences we have to face, as a nation, especially as the election is around the corner. And it seems to be that these consequences still have to be with the masses, still have to be with the people. Like they still are those in the receiving end. So do you think citizens on their own have one or two roles to play, probably to help themselves or to help the situation on ground? as as it has to do with insecurity?
What is the evidence? Are you talking about self-defense? Because we need to differentiate self-defense, and I keep on telling people, naturally, human beings are programmed to defend themselves. If anybody comes to tell you that it is not your duty to defend yourself, I think that person is not helping matter. You have to defend yourself very, very well, because the way things are going right now, it calls for people to be oriented in the area of self-defense. It's not that you carry arm, you need to look for somebody to kill or to attack. But in case of anything that happens around, you should have that education on how to protect yourself. Make sure that you are not the one that is being used by anybody to cause mayhem in the society.
So does that take us to community policing?
Very, very well. Because the structure of a security system we have right now is calling for community policing. Apart from community policing, state policing, community policing, because the whole power is in the federal government. So it needs to be decentralized so that security can be approached from the grassroots. Because if you don't approach security from the grassroots, you are missing the roots. It's like you are cutting a tree without approaching it from the roots. So it will keep on growing. That is what we are experiencing today. We are tackling security from the top. It's supposed to be from the bottom. But when it's tackled from the bottom, definitely we are going to see great success in the area of security in this country.
Some people are of the opinion that the general elections should be postponed due to the hike in security. They just feel they are of the opinion that if we continue like this, some areas there won't be elections, and everybody needs to vote and be voted for. What's your thought on that?
If you postpone the election, it's like you are postponing the evil day. Postponing of election is not the solution to the problem. What the government ought to do now is to be very proactive in the area of addressing every aspect of insecurity in this country. Because when there is security, there is an assurance of peaceful voting, peaceful election. But when there is no security, there's nothing we can do about it. And no Nigerian want to die. Yes, and we should put our house in order. Because the way things are going, I see people say, the way things are going, look at the bandits, look at the terrorists, look at even the gunmen in the southeast, what they are doing. They call them unknown gunmen. What they are doing, the mayhem they are causing, it's not helping situation. And the international community, another funny thing here, is stopping investment. It's stopping people from coming to Nigeria to do one or two things. For people coming to Nigeria, Nigerians are leaving Nigeria. When Italy was built, after they finished building Italy, they began to build Italians. But we've not built Nigeria. How much more Nigerians? We should focus on the economy, the welfare, and the well-being of the people. When things are going well, nobody would like to carry arm to attack his neighbor. So these are the areas we need to be looking at. The federal government, per se, you should come up on a very radical manner to address security. Really, within a few days, the soldier, the military, they are trying to an extent. We have seen their effort, we have seen what they have done in the battleground, the rate in which people were killed last month. This month it has reduced, because last month a lot of people died. Apart from the gun issue, there are a lot of areas we can address when it comes to security.
So what areas?
We've talked about being sincere. We talk about the education. It's very, I think it's at it, educate the people. Let security as a subject be added in our curriculum. There are some countries, what we call primary 1 to 6. Security is part of their curriculum. As they leave primary school to go to secondary school, they are already police of their own.
So you think this should actually start from basic education?
Yes, very, very important. The government should look at security from the educational aspect of it. Because when you are educated security-wise, I'm educated security-wise, it goes a long way to protect ourselves, protect our environment, and protect our property. Because when there's insecurity, every average Nigerian will look up to the police. And the police, they are very few. They are not up to 500,000. We are talking about a country of more than 200 million in population. For a police of less than 500,000, to police such a country, I call it a suicide mission. It's not a helping issue. Putting all our security agencies together, I don't think they are up to 1 million. I don't think they are up to 1 million.
All right, now, before we have invaders invading our territory in the name of terrorists and bandits and killer headsmen, we've been having internal crisis in some regions. If you go to the southeast, they are calling for freedom. You go to south, we talk about having monopoly over the oil. And do you think the federal government is missing it somewhere? This is a federal state. In your opinion, do you think the government of the day is being fair enough to every region?
I don't think so. Marginalization. When people are calling for separation, it's because things are not going well. Because when they are well taken care of, nobody would think of separating from the system. Because things are not going well, especially the area of marginalization. When the people are marginalized, what do you expect them to do? They will react. They want to be on their own. But when the government is taking care of that aspect that makes them to be aggrieved, I don't think that any rightful Nigerian will raise is air to say want to separate from the country.
So you think the situation of the country justifies their demands?
And to an extent, but it can be taken care of if there's sincerity. It can be taken care of.
So let's take it a little bit further. So how can the government take care of this issue now? In what ways the agitations, clamoring for separation and all that?
The government should be sincere about the area of positioning. It is not one-way government, because when some people are sidelined, they will be bound to react. So the government should share position everywhere to make sure everybody is satisfied. It is not going to be one way. That is just the issue of agitation.
Okay, now we have major contenders when it comes to the presidential election.
Yeah.
Now, in your opinion, which of these candidates got what it takes to take us out of insecurity issue forever?
I will not be here to tell you that. I will not be here to tell you that. But what I said, Nigeria is looking for a messiah, not a leader. Anybody that has the attribute of a messiah is what Nigeria will go for.
So it's more like a person, looking at the person, not the party.
Not the party. Not the party. We are more concerned about who is coming to redeem us from this quagmire. It's not about the party. It's about the individual.
All right. Now, we still have a Reverend Dr. Isaac Sharif. We'll take a short pause now. Then we'll get the phone line so that we can take your reactions as we begin to wrap up on the show.
TMI, every opinion counts.
All right, many thanks for staying with us. We still have our guest, Reverend Dr. Sharif Azeke, with us, and he's been x-raying the worsening security issues we are facing as a nation. We'll be opening the phone lines in a jiffy, but let's come back to Reverend Dr. Sharif. What can the military do differently to take care of these guys once and for all?
I think the federal government should give a marching order with a sincere heart for the military to take over address this menace. And I keep on telling people that we have a competent military personnel in Nigeria who can handle this aspect of insecurity. With few days, they are done. With few days. And secondly, the military should involve technology in addressing insecurity, because the world has gone beyond using humans to address what robots can take care of. The time they begin to use technology, they will have more impact in the area of their sources. I think if they do that, it will help. It will go a long way.
Now, you just talked about the military and going a long way also. Now, do you also think, like we talked about earlier, about fake news as one of the agents fueling insecurity? Now, do you think as citizens, we should also be able to sit back and have a rethink about informations we get, especially from social media, as it has to do with insecurity, before, jumping into conclusions?
There are people, when they get information from the social media, they are very fast in sharing this thing without verification. That's why I talk about education. It is very important when you, as a citizen, you get a bad news. It is not ideal you just share it immediately. It's good you verify why these things are real, why these things are genuine before you share, because people will not just want to verify anything. They just look at it and carry the news and spread it. In the course of spreading bad news, you see, it's also fueling insecurity.
All right, let's quickly give out the phone line. It will be displayed on the screen. But however, Favor Sarah will be giving us the line. Favor.
All right, so the number to call us on is 070-8365-1320. Call it again, 070-8365-1320. Numbers displayed on the screen.
Okay, we already have a caller. Good morning, caller. Hello, good morning. Hello. Okay, we are going to let you go so we can attend to all the
I think
calls.
we should state the rules from the beginning. When you call us, please, you turn down the volume of your TV set and you talk to us.
Very important. Okay, now, the government has been doing a lot, like we said, but it seems we are still coming back to square one. Do you have any advice to the government as an expert?
Like, the government should take security issue to the grassroots. It should carry everybody along. Everybody's a stakeholder. Involved, even the commoners should be involved. I told you, it's not about the uniform and the...
Hear you. Okay. Yes, good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
This is Mr. Peter.
Mr. Peter, where are you calling from, Mr. Peter? Hello, Mr. Peter. Hello.
I'm calling from Benin.
Go ahead and talk to us.
Yeah, what are we discussing about APC? APC. For me, APC, I don't know how to describe APC.
I think you should actually listen to the conversation so you know exactly what we're talking about. We're actually talking about insecurity in the country at the moment. Okay?
Well,
we have another question.
Different stroke for
Different folks.
That's where the guys really having it. Hello, good morning, caller.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, what's your name and where are you calling from?
I'm Festus. I'm close to your station here in Oluku.
All right, go ahead and talk to us, Festus.
Yeah, like your guest just said, insecurity is a business of everybody, not just for the government, as it is today. Yes, the responsibility of the government is to secure life and property of its citizens. But for what we see now, it has gone beyond just the responsibility of the government. Everybody has a responsibility to secure his or her environment first, like they are trying to do now. If they can take this insecurity, this security issue down to the grassroots, like you said, you don't treat things from the top. If you want to treat a tree, you start from the roots so that it gets to the leaf. That is how insecurity is. You have to start from the grassroots. If I know those who are living within my community, within my environment, within the place I stay, I should be able to relate well with the security agents that are within my environment so that we have a good rapport to fish out these bad eggs within us. But if the thing is coming from the government, you see that because of the situation, most especially as it is in Nigeria, there is a way they treat things. Corruption will envelop everything. You see, they begin to treat life with politics, which is very wrong. So if they can give leverage, governors should approve it. Governors, most especially governors.
Okay.
I don't want to see the president, most especially governors. They should give hand to communities, to they have this.
Thank you
they
so
have
much.
money coming for this thing.
All right, thank
you very much.
Thank you. Okay, he's taking us back to security from the grassroots.
Now, also, there was something he also said that struck me, actually, that if you're living in a community And if I am living in a community actually, and I have this good relationship with people living around me, if there's an anomaly happening or to happen around me, I would notice, more than someone who is not living around. Now, don't you think that also boils down to giving tip-off to security agents? Like, when you see something, say something.
That's why I said security is no longer in the hand of government. It's everybody's business. And everybody should be seen as a security stakeholder. If the government begin to share this view that security is not just in our hand, it's in the hand of everybody. Everybody's involved. And they really carry everybody along, involve everybody, have programs, have seminars, do more on orientation the way they did during the time of COVID-19. When COVID-19 came, there was much awareness, even to the grassroots approach. Even the old woman in the village got to know it. So if they can approach security like the way they approach COVID-19 to an extent, the people in the community, individuals will understand the nitty-gritty of security. And they should be able to handle security in their own way. Everybody become a police of his own. You don't wait for the federal police to come to protect you. There's a police spirit inside you that need to come out to protect yourself. Very, very important.
Okay, let's get back to the phone line. Hello, good morning, caller. Yes, tell us your name, where you're calling from. Hello? Okay, we lost that call there. You talk about everyone possessing a police spirit. But let's see. Hello, good morning. Hello. Hello. I think probably there's a distortion somewhere.
So I guess now is the time for every citizen to know that I have a role to play. Like, even if the government do these sensitizations, if you as a person do not come to the realization that me personally, I have a role to play in helping security agents to, to put the situation in check around me, we don't think it's going to get to the point you're talking about.
And that's what we're talking about, the grassroots approach, because you will need to begin to talk to our people very, very well that your life is sacrosanct. And you are responsible to the protection of your life. We say the primary aim of government is to protect the life of citizens and the property and welfare of the citizens. But when you discover the government is failing in that area, you don't fold your hand because you will be at the receiving end. If the government fails and you fold your hand, you will definitely be at the receiving end. So you have to do your own part in protecting your own side. And I also encourage neighborhood security. Very, very important. Okay. Very, very important. There should be a kind of synergy between the neighbors and security agencies. Like the landlord, there should be kind of called landlord association. In every major street, the landlord should come together and form a security forum in order to know who is in that street, the tenants. There should be even a form for every landlord. If somebody is coming to rent your apartment, your property, that person should fill a form. In case something happens, you know who to be responsible for. Because we are in a country whereby when things happen, we don't know who to blame. We just put the blame generally. There are people that will be held responsible in every security fracas that happens in our environment.
Okay, let's see how many calls we can take now. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, tell us your name, where you're calling from.
My name is Uncle Fred.
Okay, where are you calling from? Okay, go ahead.
My contribution is to this insecurity in Nigeria. The federal government should encourage the state. The state will also encourage the local government, and the local government should encourage community policing, security. So I think if we take this step, the security problem will be reduced.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
That's my contribution.
Okay, he's talking about a synergy between the federal government,
the
state government, and
the local government.
What's your take?
I think with what he said is the right direction, because it flows. When the federal government encourage the state government, and the state government encourage the local government to the communities. It's a shame thing. Everybody is involved. It will go a long way. But I still want to say that security is not about the gun and the uniform. Because when a man is hungry, even the gun cannot change his mind. The hungry man is the angry man. When things are not in order, when the economy, the welfare of the people, they are not taken care of. Even though you bring 1 million soldiers, cannot change the mind because it's a concept. Criminality is a concept. And if that thing is not addressed, you bring the gun, they will only be afraid, but at the end of the day, what they want to do, they will still do it. So these factors should be taken care of. Put food in the table of the people, make life easy for them, let there be employment, education system is working, our roads are working, our hospitals are working, things are going well. I don't think we'll have all these issues.
So poor standard of living is one of the reasons why we are faced with this continuous security problem.
That is just it. If you watch very well our borders, go to the immigration office, you see the way Nigerians are looking for passport like somebody looking for something else. There's shortage of passport presently because the demand is high. Why? People want to leave this country. They want to go to a greener part, a place where things are working well. Go to our airport, you see the way people are living every day. Some even go through the desert. They don't care. Let them just leave this place. But it ought not to be so. Nigeria is supposed to be a pilgrimage place, home, where people come all the way from different countries to come and see what is happening here.
Okay. Let's see what's happening on the phone line. Hello, good morning, caller.
Good morning.
Tell us your name, where you calling from.
Well, from Benin.
What's your name?
Proof of Benin.
Okay, go ahead and share your thought with us.
In the issue of we should be we have job security, we have family security, we have general security. Now, security is local. Security is local. If every family, if every community, if they are not carried to the security, we don't have this problem. Let me tell you one thing. It's not burden. Because the federal government should, according to the state, according to the local. But in every corner, we have a politician everywhere. But as anybody from every community go to principle, look at what is happening in my community, people are benefiting from this, that's why they are having problem in security. If everybody should look now in my community, want to stop insecurity, anybody I found working, take it to the politician or go to the police, then it will stop. And secondly, corruption in the system.
Okay.
That's where we have the problem.
All right.
Until we fight corruption, we cannot buy insecurity.
Okay.
Because corruption is the pain of insecurity everywhere. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you so much. He talked about corruption eating up the country, and that is why we are still faced.
And I think it's actually causing mistrust, for security agents who, in one way or the other, the people may not actually trust to handle the issues well.
In the area of security agency,
yes.
Corruption is a general thing. It's not a one-way approach. The system in Nigeria, you see corruption everywhere. Even when it comes to security, I wrote a book on security that has to do with it is a felon. It's a major crime to mismanage security fund, because when you mismanage security fund, it will affect lives where things are supposed to be addressed very well. Because of mismanagement somewhere, there's a loophole, and people have this as a problem.
But there was a time we were supposed to have a list of those sponsoring these terrorists from the FG, and we never saw that list. The list never saw the light of the day. Do you think the government is sincere enough in hiding the identities of these sponsors?
That is why initially I said insincerity breeds insecurity.
Okay.
Because when the people in aim of affair, they are not sincere in handling security issues, you don't go anywhere. You talk about there are certain people sponsoring this whole issue, and the thing ends there. Where are the people? Why can't you bring their names out and take care of them? We only hear certain persons, but that is the end of the whole thing. People are not brought into the picture to be prosecuted and to be dealt with. The thing we keep on, like somebody said, people are feeding from insecurity. As long as they are feeding from insecurity, what do you have?
And do you agree with that?
Check our borders. Our borders are porous. How many borders do we have? There are, especially in the north, people can just walk into this country as if you are going to New Benin Market without any document. Check our society, our community. We see a lot of marauders. They are not Nigerians. Check very well. I went to a country where in the daytime, Nigerians, you don't see them. I ask, why are you running? Because they don't have papers. The moment you see the sight of police, you see them running. But here, we have a lot of strangers, foreigners, living in our country, doing business legally or illegally. Nobody is talking. Without documentation. They are everywhere, even this morning. Check them very well. And most of these persons, they have evil agenda. And nobody is checking them. Nobody is checking. It's part of insecurity.
So back then, when we were growing up, we used to have toll gates. Before you enter any state, there's a toll gate that leads to that city. Should we go back to that pattern? Will it help to curb insecurity?
When you have toll gates, just like you have a door and you have a fence compound. If you lock your door without addressing the gate at the fence, you have not done much.
Okay.
Just like toll gates. I'm talking about boundary control, security. Our people should man our boundary. I told you just now that the military or the federal government should use technology. There are a lot of countries, you don't need to put much people on the boundary. They use technology through the satellites to monitor what is happening in the boundary. If anybody crosses the boundary, you think it will just trigger that there's a stranger here.
So the immigrations, they have not been doing well?
I think the immigration should be encouraged and be empowered. For now, I think there are a lot of loopholes. Okay. They should be encouraged, they should be empowered to do much in that area.
All right, let's come back and see what we have on the phone line. Hello, good morning. Hello? Are you there?
Hello.
Yes, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. I'm Mr. Sergei Gwabi, calling from the Mississippi, our community.
All right, go ahead and share your thought with us.
On a very strong note, let me commend your guest there. He has spoken volume analysis about the security aspects of Nigeria. He had almost said it for a country that is porous in terms of security. There is no way such country can have any purposeful and meaningful development. When and what we are seeing in this country, if anybody that be privileged, those of us that be privileged, or if you are privileged to go to that country, there's what we call database documentation, which can be used to fine-tune, to check anything like security network. But to our greatest surprise, our government has told us time and time that their company numbers or phone numbers, go and register to your NID, do these things, you can be able to contain, those people who have mischief activities, but all men are there. So I think the Nigeria government has to work sincerely because it has not analyzed the border. Once you are living, once you are coming to Nigeria, you are coming to Nigeria as the country in the various border. The northern borders, they are so porous. And another issue is that our men who are on ground here, whether immigration, I don't know. Some places are saying that they are not well paid. They are well paid. They are doing incentive, but most of them they compromise. Like the American America as a country, when you must enter America as a country, they have to check everything about you. But you go to our airport here, you see our immigration personnel begging people to give them money. Those who are coming in, begging white people to give them money. By the time you are begging, you are compromising your work as a security man there. So the government have to do a lot of things because it affects the country internally and externally. Nobody from outside world now will want to come and invest in Nigeria. That is what we are saying. Okay. And talking about the security votes, what is the security votes? The security votes are not there to the governor down to be able to contain all security network. But what do we see? Most of our governors, it's not 100%.
Okay.
Just look at that security vote that is voted there.
I'm sorry, I'm going to let you go. Now, the issue of security vote, like he's trying to analyze here, it seems to an extent the state governors don't like any interference when it has to do with security votes. Do you think it's anybody's business to caution them on how they spend this money, this allocation?
But not all of them. Some of them are really doing well in their own area of with the security votes. Because you cannot say because certain places are not doing well, you generalize. There are some governors who are really using security vote to manage the security affairs of this country, and we can change the picture of the way they look at Nigeria from the outside world. I went to a country, in the airport, right, they say if you are in Nigeria, come this way. They separated the Nigerians from the non-Nigerians. And the funny thing is that we lined up. They brought a camera to scan our eyes. The other persons from other countries, they were using thumb printing while we were using eye printing. And I asked why our case is different. They said because we are Nigerians.
So they'll have to
detect you from your eyes because you are a Nigerian. So we can change that scenario. The government can do everything to make sure that even from the outside world, people see Nigeria as a safe place, because nobody will do business here if this place is not secure. Nobody is going to invest. Even the election we talk about, if the federal government don't do much within these few weeks, few months, I don't want to predict doom. I don't want to predict doom.
Okay. Hello, good morning, caller. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from
That sounds like a kid.
Yeah,
Aren't you supposed to be in school by now?
I need to let him go. Probably he just picked the parents' phone to contribute on the show. Okay, we have someone on the line. Hello, good morning, caller. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, please, you need to turn down the audio volume on your television set.
This is Jenny from Benin.
Okay, go ahead and talk to us.
We know the problem about the people. Now, if people really want to that issue of fast security in Nigeria, I mean, the security would have both government correctly can employ security men in this state. Because no state government has had a million motive activity. So if you go down to learn and to fight security in every state, I mean, every state will have their own security personnel pay from that security booth. I mean, every state will have nothing men on the ground paid by that security booth. We are going to be there every year, every month, that security booth. No. About the three level of another governor. We call what we call that.
Well, you're not the only one on the show. We have other people trying to call in.
Please keep it short and simple.
Ensure you get what you want to say and be very, very precise with your submission. So let's start taking final notes as we'll be taking more calls.
I know Nigeria is going to bounce back in the area of security. We should be very hopeful, and we should believe in God that things are going to turn around for good. People who look at this country as a dustbin, they will see this country as a great hub for peace. And Nigerians, I will encourage everyone as a citizen to be very security conscious. You are the police of your life. Don't wait for anybody stronger to come and police you. You have to police yourself, police your family, police your environment. And you should also work in hand with the security agencies to see how things can go well. And strangers in our midst, people who are in our midst, they don't mean well for us, should be fished out. And the government should be very sincere in the area of security. Security, they should advertise it, they should prioritize it, encourage people to be more security conscious, and take care of the factors that make insecurity to stay. There should be employment. There should be level ground for people to have good business. There should be education. And a lot of things the government need to involve in to make security something that everybody is enjoying in this country.
Okay, we'll come back and take a final one from you, but let's come back and hear from our viewers. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Tell us your name, where you calling from.
Yeah, I'm calling from my name is Anne.
Quickly go ahead and share your thought with us.
My story I want to share, I need to share with some.
Okay. you want us to help you with something, probably have to call after the show, after the program. All right. Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Azeke Sharif, for taking time.
Thank you.
Despite the short notice. Favor?
Thank you.
Yeah, and now the one that struck me most of what you said was the fact that we have to have a good relationship with those in our neighborhood for us to be able to know when something is us need to take home and to put a heart that you on your own, you have one or two things, a major thing to do has to do with security and securing your immediate environment. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, we'll take a short pause now and we'll take other segments on the program. Don't go nowhere.
TMI, every opinion counts.